Everything versus everything. Fight!
Now we start. Welcome to Everything versus Everything.
Welcome to Everything versus Everything. Is that going to be our actual start? We could use it as our actual start.
Alright, yeah.
Okay. Euan sneezing too.
Not with a whimper, but with a sneeze.
Yeah, that's how we like to begin around here. This is Everything versus Everything, the podcast where we look at everything in the world and decide what order it goes in, from best to worst. I'm Alex. Yay.
I'm Euan, also yay.
Yay. I've never said I'm Alex yay before, and that's not usually a thing that I'm happy about, but today I'm in a reasonable mood.
Yay.
Sitting here in Euan's living room with a glass of water and a microphone.
Yep.
Doesn't get any better than this.
The weather's not that great outside as well, so hurrah for us.
That's true. Yeah, we don't have our usual thing of the sun glaring through the window, reminding us of what we could be doing if we had hobbies other than just talking into microphones and ranking things in order.
Sounds bad to me. Let's keep the rankings going.
Yeah.
We've scared off Mark, unfortunately. He's no longer here.
He
didn't enjoy his haircut. He
yeah.
didn't enjoy the fact that he was being very adult on the Nudges and Grudges, and we were very childish.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, Mark.
It won't happen again.
Maybe.
Anyway, let's get on with Bring a Thing.
Yay!
Bring a thing. Each of us brings a thing. Then we add it to our list. You want to kick us off, or will I?
Yeah, I can kick it off.
Okay.
Yeah, my thing. I mean, it's quite a big thing, to be honest. It's true crime, the genre.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you know this about me, Alex, but I'm quite a fan of true crime. I guess describing true crime is, mainly it's in books. There's also films and TV shows made as well, where it takes crimes from real life and the writer that sort of writes about it on the book kind of thing. There's a couple of notable one of the biggest things recently was Making a Murderer, the TV show from Netflix, which was incredible and very addictive sort of TV show. And to a certain extent, some people have sort of come out into the woodwork and said, well, you didn't talk about this aspect of the crime or that aspect or that kind of thing. But I don't know, I feel like you only got so much to sort of deal with in the scope of things. It's interesting, true crime, compared to other genres and types of writing, because what it's writing about most of the time is some of the more darker aspects of humanity. Usually it's writing about crimes that happen, such as like serial killers or that kind of stuff, and there are actual victims to these crimes.
Yes.
Their families have had their lives ruined or just really terrible things. And this is it's an aspect for me that I find interesting, because though you're reading or watching something that you're finding in a way entertaining or you're getting something out of it, it's something that comes at more of a cost to someone else. There's a bit of ethics involved.
Yes, that's true. It feels a bit voyeuristic sometimes to be like just enjoying something when it's... And it's not always about enjoyment. Sometimes you're wanting to be intellectually stimulated and think about things in a different way. But sometimes you are just sort of enjoying it in some way. You're being thrilled or like, ooh, what's going to happen next? Or
one of the things about true crime that I find most fascinating is the main characters are usually the criminals. Like some of the biggest sort of books have dealt with like serial killers, such as John Wayne Gacy is a famous American serial killer, Charlie Manson, not a serial killer but like the head of a cult kind of thing. And something that's quite interesting because these people are quite fascinating in how they tick and how they work, and they're very kind of unusual kind of characters and where they came from and how they became this monster or this kind of very despicable human being kind of thing. I don't know, I feel it's one of the things that true crime is kind of useful for, because it analyzes in detail sort of the human psyche, the darker parts of ourselves, and sort of explores it, when a lot of the time I feel like most genres don't do that. They don't get into sort of the worst of ourselves. They kind of try and put them in neat boxes or something and make it more black and white.
True. Yes, a lot of genres are sort of happy to dismiss people who do very bad things as, oh, they're just monsters, or they're just insane, or they're evil, or whatever. To me, that's never a great
place to start off.
justification. Yeah. It's never the truth, really. Everyone's a human, whether you want to admit it or not. Everyone has things that led them to that point. And true crime, I mean, I'm sure it sometimes falls into the trap of demonizing people in a way, and doing scary zooms in on their face while scary music plays. But it also, the better kind of it probably looks into what led them to that point, and you can even relate to them in some ways and be like, wow, I can sort of see how that might have happened.
Yeah.
Hopefully your circumstances are not as bad as theirs, or you might have coped with your circumstances in a better way, but you're still like, there's an explanation for this of some sort, whether it's a really bad childhood or some sort of
a condition that wasn't diagnosed.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. Totally. I mean, a lot of it is down to not always, but a lot of it is down to society sort of not dealing with this individual, and they then struck out the way they did. Not always the case, though, obviously. A lot of people have been in the same situation as these individuals and didn't do the evil actions. So it's not a complete excuse for them to do what they did.
No.
But at the same time, it is...
It depends on your views on free will, and I don't want to get into that. Cause, I might bring free will to a future episodes and talk about why I don't think it's real. But you can't really map out exactly every single thing that led a person to the way that they are, but it's good to look at some of the aspects of their lives in a more open way than just going, oh, they're just a monster. Sorry, we're maybe straying from the point a little bit here.
Well, my one big thing about true crime is, though, that I do believe quite heartily, is that if you're going to try and cure something or solve something, you don't look at what's the phrase? You don't sort of cure it's basically, you don't just help the victim, you also try and find out the cause and try and stop that, from the source kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. If you care about helping stop things like murders from happening again, you have to look at why they happened and analyse that, and not just say, okay, we're going to lock up the guy who did it or kill the guy who did it, and that's that sorted now.
Brush your hands and walk away.
And then it's partially your responsibility or society's responsibility. Anyway, I feel like we keep straying from true crime into really serious sort of...
Yeah, sorry.
True crime, let's get back to the sort of the genre of...
True crime.
No, not fiction. I was going to say fiction, it's not fiction.
It's a hard one to say, because I think some true crime does fictionalise a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Does kind of try and put their own sort of spin on things. No one can be totally objective, sort of, without it just becoming like an essay almost, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting world, and I know, I kind of look at sort of true crime as something that's quite... it goes in places and it discusses things that other genres and that don't do.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's admirable for that, and as much as people might see it as pulpy or whatever, it makes you think about things, which is good.
Yeah.
It makes you think about things in a way that a lot of other sort of TV or films or whatever don't, or refuse to. So I don't think it's purely sort of just a escapism. I mean, it's a weird kind of escapism for one thing, because you're escaping into a world of murder and horrible crime. But it's a funny old beast.
I think, a lot of people, because I follow a sort of few Facebook groups that sort of discuss sort of true crime and that, and a lot of people kind of do it not because they really like sort of like they're very hardcore and they're very kind of like heavy metal or that kind of thing, and more they just like, they're kind of scared of that kind of topic, and they're trying to sort of like be quite logical in that, okay, if I'm scared of this, I want to understand this.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's kind of what interests me about it a bit. I mean, I haven't watched a great deal of it or read a great deal of it, but I watched Making a Murderer, which was very good, and I think that's maybe a bit of a sort of different thing from most true crime, because it's sort of arguing, I don't know, that the filmmakers don't explicitly take the position that the guy they're making the film about is innocent.
No.
But they heavily imply it.
I think...
they heavily imply the possibility that he may have been found guilty through means that are questionable.
Yes, I think they put the case across that here is a situation in which someone could be set up to be a murderer.
Yes, and it's not necessarily saying in this case he definitely is innocent. It's saying there's a lot of doubt here, and maybe this is a sort of systemic problem. There's probably other cases where things like this have happened, and we can't obviously make a documentary about all of them, but here is a very deep dive into this particular case and all the ridiculous things that the prosecution did.
The twists and turns.
My God, that series. If you haven't watched Making a Murderer, I highly recommend it. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's as gripping as any drama that I've ever watched.
Yeah, the first episode
Me and
alone
Gavin,
is
yeah.
like its own kind of saga.
Me and Gavin watched it together like over the course of I think 2 days, and we ended up just watching it way faster than we intended, because at the end of every episode we'd be like, oh my god, that just happened, we have to watch the next one.
Yeah, it's always ends with such a cliffhanger. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
It's very good.
It's very, very good. Very well done.
Yes.
The two directors, both of those women should be very proud of themselves for
Oh,
what they
yes.
did. So,
And that one, maybe we can't draw a sort of definite correlation between this, but it may have had an effect, because one of the people mentioned in it has now been freed. Not the main guy, but the one who was charged as being his sort of accomplice
Yes.
in the crime, who was, if you watch the series, the way that they interview him is extremely questionable, to put it kindly. I won't give too much away
No.
about it, but that particular example may have had a positive impact on the world, possibly.
yeah, true. That is very true. It's had a sort of.
It certainly brought a lot of publicity to that case.
I think we've said good section of true crime. What we need to say. Yeah,
So where do you think it should go? It's tricky to place the genre.
it is. I potentially would put it around where zombies are, to a certain extent. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I would be happy around there, because I think it can be actually quite important. You've talked me around a bit, and I've talked myself around to some extent as well. Like, when you first say true crime, I sort of imagine it as sort of just pulpy
Schlocky.
entertainment. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
But-
like Britain's worst murderers.
Yeah, and there's certainly some of it that is like that. But I think as a genre, it has quite a lot of good that it can do, or things to offer.
A lot of the best sort of true crime books or TV shows are being created by journalists who are sort of done a very extreme analyst on, or they should be at least, and I think the successful ones do, analysing of crime, and also putting it in its sort of historical context and sort of the world and area it's located in, kind of thing. I feel it's kind of a more detailed form of journalism. Yeah, I feel
Above zombies or below zombies or somewhere else?
that'd be between like near grilled cheese sandwiches, which you're just thinking, where do the two meet? I can feel like true crime might not be everyone's cup of tea,
Yeah.
and a lot of people.
Also, zombies, like, I feel weird about having them that high up, because I don't know if I like zombies exactly. Like,
No, I really love zombie movies, I guess.
yeah, they have given us that. They have given us that and not actually appeared in the real world yet, which
Yeah.
is nice of them.
Thank you for that. They're good sort of enemies in video games as well.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They're very
Yeah,
useful.
yeah, yeah.
True crime. Maybe because it is a bit more nuanced, true crime should go a bit higher there. So do you think below grilled cheese sandwich or?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good place for it. True crime enters at number 38. Very good. That just leaves my thing for the first segment. My thing. Imagine this scenario.
Okay.
Right? You're in your house and you've ordered a very exciting thing from Amazon. Let's say Amazon.
There are other online retail stores.
You're waiting in your house. You're checking your app on your phone. And it says it's out for delivery. And you're waiting a bit more. You hear the door and you go down and you open the door. It's just someone selling it's like a Girl Scout selling Girl Scout cookies. And you're like, what are you doing here? This isn't even a thing that people
Happens in
really
the
do
UK.
in
No.
the UK. And then they go away and you're annoyed about that and you're waiting for your package of the very exciting thing. Finally, you hear the van drop outside and you've opened the door before they even ring the bell and you're just like, yes, thank you, and you sign for it on their little signy pad with the display that you can't actually do anything properly on. It's just like a little squiggle. And then they give you your amazing it's a big parcel, and you put it down and you start to open it up, and inside, and what's inside isn't actually important, because my thing is waiting for a parcel to arrive.
Ah, very good. You've conjured up the whole scenario for us.
Yes. So yeah, apparently this is why James isn't here today.
Oh no.
I just got a message from him before I started recording. He said he might be able to record, but he's waiting in for a parcel, and
Oh no.
yeah, waiting in for a parcel I think is a very double-edged sword, because I'm always excited about it, even if it's something really boring. If it's like just some sticky labels that I need for something,
Yeah.
or it's a birthday present for someone else that I'm buying, I'm still like, ooh, can't wait till that arrives. I don't know why. I'm not going to be able to like play with it and have fun or anything. I'm just going to open it and be like, yeah, that's the thing that I ordered. But there's still something very satisfying about it. Just having it there. Maybe I'm just really materialistic and I like having things. It's just probably true. I am quite materialistic in some ways.
We're all a little bit.
Yeah, hard not to be in today's world. But also you've got the sense of oppression. I'm always like, I can't go out. Got to stay in. And if I go out and come back and there's a card through the door, then they're like, we've taken it back to the sorting office and you have to come and get it. You can't even come and get it today. You have to come and get it like tomorrow or next week or something.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
Yeah, that is the
That
worst.
hasn't happened for a while. They seem to just leave it behind the bin or something now.
Yeah.
I feel like delivery people have got a lot more lax about where they put things.
Yeah.
Sometimes they put them behind the bins outside my house, or sometimes they put them in the bins.
So like if you're walking by Alex's house, just check behind the bins. You might get a little
no.
present. Don't do that.
Don't find out where I live, please. But yeah, what if the bin men came after they put it in one of the bins, like a recycling bin or something? I guess they wouldn't do it if it was out at the curb. Anyway, yeah, I always get paranoid about that. But yeah, it's just exciting to be waiting for a parcel. And when it arrives, I'm like, I'm free now. I can do whatever I want. And it's almost like a little mini... It's like a sort of self-imposed little fast, but a fast of not doing stuff. I'm sure there's a word for that.
No, I know what you're meaning. It's sort of, you put yourself in a scenario in which you kind of can't do anything because of it. So
yeah, and then when you're freed of that, when it arrives and you're like, I don't have to wait for the doorbell anymore. I don't have to sit in my room or just sit like reasonably close to the door and listen and not have headphones on, because that's another thing that annoys me, because I never want to like listen to music or anything if I'm waiting for a parcel. It's such an inconvenience, but at the same time it's exciting. It's like queuing for a roller coaster or something.
Yeah.
Except this time the roller coaster is just opening a box and being like, oh, there's the moisturizer that I ordered.
Or waiting for fireworks to set off kind of thing.
Yeah.
A little bit. No, I know exactly what you mean, and I felt that sort of scenario myself, where it's like, ooh, today's the day in which this thing arrives. And it's kind of cool, like when I was a kid, I'd never get sort of parcels in the post or that kind of thing, and would always like buy my own stuff in the shops. Well, now if I say want something, say like a film or a game or that, I've got the option to do it online, and then it's like, oh, I get the fun of having a parcel delivered to me. But here's my thing. Do you feel like a part of the excitement is that you're being put in this situation, you have to sort of wait for the parcel coming, that you have to sort of be in the house in order to sort of like have the parcel come in and you have to sign for it? Is that a part of the excitement to you? Or if the scenario happens where like you don't actually have to wait for it, you can like go out and do your own thing, and then you're guaranteed that when you come back to the house it's waiting there in a safe and secure place, because you can set up a sort of parcel box in your house.
That's true. I think that would be exciting in another way, because you'd be like, part of your brain when you went out would be like, I bet it's going to be there when I come back. And then if it wasn't, you'd be really annoyed. Like it would just amplify the sensation. It would like store up a bunch of the sensations and then release them all at once. It would store up all the frustration if you opened it and then it wasn't there, and you'd be like, and it would be all, you'd get it all at once.
Yeah.
Or if it was there, you get all the excitement once of like, oh, is it going to be there? Is it going to be there? Is it going to be there? It's there! Whoa!
Yeah. Well, I guess a part of it is like, there's the classic American post box where it's got a little sort of flaggy thing that you can sort of postman flick when they've got a parcel or letters in the thing. So you kind of know straight away, is there any post for me? And like, no, there isn't, or yes, there is, kind of thing. But I guess there'll be a situation in which you will at some point have a realization of like, oh, the parcel's come, or oh, it's not come.
Is that the usual way of things in America? Because I always forget, that's one of the things, the differences between our countries that I always forget exists. But I don't know if it is different everywhere, or if it's just certain places that have those exterior mailboxes out on the sort of driveway.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like suburban America maybe has it more than, say, city America with sort of like flats and that kind of thing.
They do have letterboxes over there, like in the door.
Well, there's a little kind
through.
of, say if you were living in New York in a sort of like apartment building, there's a little sort of, I think in the entranceway, everyone's got a little post box or something like that you can sort of like collect when you're sort of either leaving or heading back to your house.
I remember if I've actually seen like an American film that has one of the slots in the door that you can push stuff through.
I don't think so. I mean, do you remember?
If you're an American, please write in and tell us if you have those.
Yeah, letterboxes.
Yeah, that's what we call them, although they're not really boxes.
They're
just
slots.
a slot.
Letter
Push
slots.
stuff
Letter
through.
and some parcel
Yeah.
slots. Like when we were in Atlanta, I think there was post boxes in some of the more suburban areas of it. I believe so.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm just like projecting this
tinting
fantasy.
your vision
Of
of America
America.
to what you think America should be like.
Yes, always and forever. Anyway, so
Yeah, I think we've probably talked about enough about this.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that we got this much conversation.
I mean, it's a kind of nice thing. I mean, your scenario is where you're kind of like, you have to stick around the house all day, which, like, I've been in a situation where, like, my doorbell has not worked. And, we've had a situation where, like, we've been in, but we missed the postman and they put in the red slip to say, like, you have to collect it tomorrow at the big post office at the other part of town. And it's like, bugger. So I've actually had it where I've been sort of just like, not even just having to sort of wait around, but having to like wait out in the garden. Just like, when it's been good weather, obviously, and just like, I don't know, just listening to a podcast, like say Everything Versus Everything, and just having to sort of keep an eye open for the postman. And then there's the awkward situation where he's knocking at the door and I sort of like come around the side and say, hello, I do live here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do they trust that you live there, or do you have to like open the door to show them?
They trust that I live there. Maybe that shouldn't be the case, but they don't ask for ID.
So if you want to get any of Euan's packages, just go stand outside in his garden and wait for the postman to come along.
At least I know you'll have as least as fun as I did when I do them when I'm in those situations. I don't get in those situations now, thankfully. Not as much. I've left a sort of message saying, please put the parcel in this section of the location, which is secret. And you'll never discover where it is. Never. But I mean, I feel like if I was more on top of things, I probably would have a parcel box and the person that's delivering it would have sort of keys to it or something like that. So, or there's definitely some sort of scenario that's involved. Because then it just frees me to be able to, like, if I need to go do something else, I can do something else.
So I guess it's a question of if we could get rid of this and just have things appear and you not have to be in to receive them.
If they were teleported,
would it be a good thing?
If the good old teleportation devices,
oh god,
the
Don't
spies,
bring teleportation into this.
It's an interesting one. I mean, it gives you a little bit of a mini roller coaster of emotions you go through.
Yeah,
which I think you like.
I like little mini roller coasters. Well, to some degree, I do. I don't like. I don't know if I do like it because I don't really like answering the door. But this is a scenario where I don't mind it really because I pretty much know who they're going to be and what they're going to be doing and what is expected of me.
I mean, it's robbed us of James today, which is annoying.
That's true. You have to take that into account. Also, another scenario that I'll just quickly mention is sometimes they will deliver it to your neighbours and your neighbours will take it in for you.
Yeah, I do always find that sort of
which
like
is a little bit awkward.
I'm inconveniencing them to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I'm always like, sorry.
That's the thing. Don't think it should go that high up. We have the feeling at the start of an actual roller coaster on the list, and that's more exciting.
Yes, that is more exciting than the actual roller coaster. Where is that on the list?
That's 69.
No.
Dude,
Yeah.
nice.
So sensation, you'd sort of put it under as well.
I suppose it's experience. I don't know if I'd put it right there because the mayonnaise is right below it, and it should definitely be higher than the mayonnaise, but mayonnaise is in the wrong place, so
yeah, I think
I'm gonna ignore mayonnaise for now.
Yeah, well, self-serving checkouts. I think it's better than self-serving checkouts.
Do you think?
I mean, it's tough. It is tough. I feel like self-serving checkouts. Do you know what? Yeah, self-serving checkouts are going to be a thing. We can't get away from it. It's part of the future kind of thing. And to be honest, people probably don't want to sort of make a career out of being a checkout person if they didn't have to, kind of thing. So yeah, maybe it is not as good as self-serving checkouts.
Better than old book smell though, maybe? You don't like old book smell though?
Yeah, it's a bit more musty. I'd say it's better than old books.
Okay. There we go, waiting for a parcel to be delivered enters number 72. And that's it for Bring a Thing. Only two of us here, so we'll move on, I guess, to head to head. And now it's head to head, where we look at two age-old rival things that have been battling out since the dawn of time and decide which is better and where each of them goes on our list. Today we're talking about, Euan suggested this, and it's a very clever one that I wish I'd thought of. Windows versus doors. Yeah.
Yay. Just came to me. I got no explanation for it, but yeah. Windows or doors?
I can see both from where I'm sitting.
True.
There's a window there and there's a door there. There's another door there. Windows and doors, we see them probably every day unless we're out in the wilderness somewhere. We don't really think about them much, but they're important.
I'd say the vast majority of structures will have windows or doors.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go inside them, they kind of usually have a door. You kind of need a door to get in, really.
Buffets might not have doors.
Oh, might they not?
Yeah, I don't know if they would. Some of them don't, I think. I think because they're just outdoorsy.
Oh, they're just like it's just a wall missing basically, and it's like a shelf.
I think it's got a door entranceway, but they've not got like the actual ceiling part.
Does that count as a door then? If it's just an empty door frame?
I guess it's a doorway. It's not a door though.
Yeah. Okay. So are we talking about let's get technical here. We're talking about the sort of flat piece of stuff or wood or whatever that is within a door frame. That's the door, and the door frame is not the door.
Yeah, I'm thinking a door is an actual entranceway that can be sealed.
Right. Okay. Yes.
That has to that it needs to be opened and closed, or could be opened and closed.
Yes, that makes sense.
And the same with a window, I think.
You think it has to be able to be opened and closed?
Oh.
I don't think so.
Well, I don't think it has to be window has to be open and closed. I think maybe you have to be able to look out.
Yeah, a window you have to be able to look at, even if it's like stained glass or something.
Yeah,
you can still see through it a bit.
Yeah, or stained windows, glass windows. You don't even have to. It lets light in, I guess.
I guess that's
of all. So that's part of it all. Yeah, maybe with stained glass windows. I mean, there's one in my hallway. We could, if we go in there, look out of it if we needed to. It's not the best way to look out of this, but it's still you can do it technically speaking. Stained glass windows are interesting because they're kind of like art that sort of utilizes light.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, not many types of art will utilize natural light that is just there anyway. I mean, I guess they utilize it in that you need it to see them.
Yeah, but it uses it in a different way.
Yeah, it's like painting with light.
So doorways versus windows. I mean, I feel like doorways are kind of more... Well, it's actually really weird because I was going to say that they're kind of more technical and more kind of like for security reasons.
Yeah.
Well, I think windows have a bit more kind of a romanticness to them maybe, where there's like, I don't know, there's like stories where in which like, say, Romeo comes up and sort of calls to Juliet and she pokes her head out the window and says, hello.
Oh, it's such a romantic...
I think I'm quoting Shakespeare there. I think I am. And you can like, you view things out of windows and sort of you experience the world from your home. While doorways are sort of there for like, they're keeping the world... There's a separation between me and the outside world.
Yeah,
and this is
doorways are more serious. Windows are a bit more sort of, Doors would be like, they're business-like. They're like, I'm just here to do my job.
Though
they wouldn't be like that. They'd be like, I'm just here to do my job.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
The sort of the doormany door.
Yeah, don't look at me. Well, you don't look at doors much. You don't like spend much time gazing at doors because they're not clear like windows. Windows you can see right through, and they'd be like, look at me. But don't look at me, look through me.
Look through me, yeah. There's a kind of a masculinism versus a feminism a little bit there.
If we want to go with like stereotypes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, if I absolutely had to assign gender to doors and windows, and one had to be male, one had to be female, it'd definitely be the male was the door and the female was the window.
Has aspects of that kind of social structure kind of thing. I wouldn't straight away say that's definitely a male thing, but like has masculine characteristics, I guess.
Traditionally masculine characteristics, and we're not saying that
I think
men are more practical and women are, you look through them to see outside.
I think we're both of the kind of thinking that both genders can have aspects of both kind of categories.
Oh yeah, we're totally progressive. Yeah. We're amazing. We're woke.
We're as woke as you can be. So. Anyways,
how did we try to this become a gender?
It shouldn't.
Windows and doors.
Windows and doors. Though I think of some doors in art or in sort of popular culture, and like one that sort of strikes me as quite an interesting one is the door in Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings, where they go to the Mines of Moria, and it's quite a sort of a beautiful sort of lit up kind of doorway, very artistic, and I mean there's a whole scene, and it's probably one of the more sort of memorable scenes in Lord of the Rings, the whole kind of thing where they're kind of waiting outside. And they finally get in, and that's quite a sort of beautiful piece of art.
There are very impressive doors. Like I like big wooden doors, like big, massive, just boom. If they close, they just like thud.
Yeah.
Some cathedrals have just massive wooden doors, and some doors can be nice and carved and interesting. But yeah, in general, windows tend to be they're more there for aesthetic purposes.
Yes.
Whether to provide a view or let light in or whatever.
Yeah, like most houses or rooms, could not have a window, but it always feels less because of it. I mean, it's always going to have a door to a certain extent, or at least a way to get into the room. But the actual sort of window aspect of it makes it better.
If you're in a room without a window, it's kind of... I don't like it much. It feels a bit claustrophobic to me. You're suddenly reminded that you are sort of shut away from the world a bit, whereas when you have a window, it's like you're sort of part of the world. I don't know.
No, I can totally get what you mean when it says it feels claustrophobic without a window. It feels much more kind of calming. and such. There's like video games where you can sort of like build your own house or just build structures, and I always remember that I have to put in the windows here, I have to put in the windows there, because it doesn't make it sort of better, more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to live in a world without windows, but I also wouldn't want to live in a world without doors, because then how would you get... What is the alternative to doors? Just windows and you climb in them?
Yeah, I guess in that way, windows would then be taking the job of doors as well.
Doors, but there's a like more of a step up to them. You have to like put your leg over the bottom bit and go through.
I mean, it's also because like doors in a sense are sort of, security wise, they're sort of protecting you kind of thing from people trying to get into your house if you need to be. While windows, in a sense, you can sort of fight back against people. So if we go back to our sort of analogy of like feminine and masculine, in that sense, windows are very useful for sort of like fighting back and that kind of thing. So it's not
throwing stuff out of them, or
throwing stones, or
I guess,
or like
pouring boiling oil onto your enemies.
Looking at like castles, they've got like arrows sort of slits where you can sort of shoot. So there's
they do have practical purposes.
They do have.
Do you think more burglars get in through windows or doors?
I'm sure there's a statistic about it all.
Yeah.
I always feel like it would be windows that would go, but probably it is just doors.
Probably is, because I mean, windows aren't really designed to let you in, so they are going to be harder to get open. And if you smash a window, you're being a lot more conspicuous than if you're just like jiggling a door handle or something.
I mean, if someone's passing by and sees someone sort of using the doorway, they're more likely to be like, oh, that's normal. But if they see someone climbing in through the window, like, ooh, a bit suspicious going on
that's
there.
That's true. Maybe they don't use the windows as much as you would think.
It'd be an interesting statistic to find out.
There's not an immediate answer on Google, so...
Maybe they don't want you to know.
Yeah.
They should tell you, though.
They should. I mean, there's sites, a lot of sites about how burglars do get in, but I just can't be bothered looking.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I'm not doing research. We need this to be a definitive answer to the question of which is better. It's hard to say.
A door or a window. I feel like a door is an essential sort of thing, while windows... I mean, if you had to, you could get away without having a window in your house. It would be great.
No.
But you need the door to sort of... It's the sort of first thing where you need to get in and out, and you need that sort of security aspect.
But as a society, if doors didn't exist, we'd have to come up with a solution for that. We'd eventually come up with something. I don't know what exactly you'd come up with that wasn't technically a door.
Well, I mean...
serve the same purpose. But if windows disappeared, you'd just be like, oh, I guess we have to live with this now. And it would just be depressing, because you'd just be going in your house and it would feel like you were just going underground or something.
Well, say you have a kind of... I don't know what the term would be, but it's basically like a sort of opening and closing thing on like the roof, where you can sort of like get up into the roof.
A trapdoor.
A trapdoor. I guess that's a door then.
Depends on our definition here.
A panel. I don't know. I also just literally thought of Harry Potter, and like how they get into their dormitories is through a kind of passwordy kind of...
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in like fiction about passwords to get into doors.
That's true,
like
yeah.
That's
doors,
kind of a fun...
Yeah, that's true.
little thing.
There's not enough of that in real life, though. Like, there should be more doors that you don't just open with a key or with a handle. You actually do something and then they just open dramatically, like in Lord of the Rings. You say a word and that happens.
Say friend and enter.
I mean, you could do that as you were approaching the automatic doors at Tesco or something, but you would know that it wasn't really listening to your word.
Yeah. There's also doorways, like there's the kind of, not the open and closing electrical one, but the one where you kind of, it spins around to get into certain shops.
Revolving doors.
Revolving doors, they're kind of annoying.
Yeah, they are.
They're never as fun as you think they'd be. It's like, oh, that's an interesting novelty.
Doors are more of a pain, I think. Windows, they don't usually cause problems unless you're trying to film something and you're in a room and you shouldn't film someone in front of a window is the usual thing. I mean, that's just
specific.
Yeah, that's fairly specific. And I guess, the sun can glare in your eyes through the window, but you're never like, bloody window.
No.
I mean,
I feel...
if it breaks or something maybe, but...
Sometimes the sun blaring through again will be a bit annoying, but then again you can install curtains or blinds and that kind of stuff. I mean, there's skyscrapers that are almost all just window. It's like glass.
True,
It's like this is a big monolith of window kind of thing.
You raise a good point there, because it's almost like we're ashamed of our windows because we will just hide them behind curtains or something at night. We'll just like close the curtains and we're sealing them off. like out of sight, out of mind. Whereas door, you don't have that for doors.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't really kind of... It'd be odd, I'd feel, to sort of see someone sort of like, say, put a curtain over a door. It'd be kind of
that's true.
a little weird and surreal. Though I'm sure there probably has been that kind of situation. I don't know.
Actually, yeah, I've done that, but with glass doors, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing about windows is that as much as it's a place where you can sort of look out into the world, I mean, say, first floor houses or ground floor houses, people can also look into you, or you can pass by and look into a person's house and see them sort of living. And it's a bit voyeuristic, I guess.
That's true.
I mean,
as we've discussed before, though, with true crime, maybe voyeurism isn't always a bad thing.
Maybe
it'll give you insight into their lives and the way that they are.
Yeah. And also you could be witnessing them doing a crime, and then you're like, oh God, I better stop that. Thank God you've got that window there so I can witness this crime.
Yeah, it makes the world a little bit less mysterious, I suppose, because you can see into other people's houses and it feels a bit more shared, communal. Whereas if we had no windows, you'd just be like walking past houses going, I'll never know what's in there. I'll never have any idea. They could be doing anything right now.
Yeah, it's very secretive in a way. It's like, I mean, it'd be interesting. It's like in countries or states where like the government is very controlling of that. If like windows is like a necessity to sort of life or that kind of stuff. 'Cause it feels like a dystopian novel might sort of have that.
Yeah.
There's
everyone lives in glass houses.
Yeah.
No one can throw stones.
Don't throw stones. Or the government, the big stone government, will come along and just break your glass house entirely.
Got something here.
There was actually a book I'm reading just now, which has a kind of fictional fantasy sort of religion, and one of the things that, because it's interesting, is that the religion in its monasteries bans doors. Like people aren't allowed to have doors because the religion sort of, historically speaking, some people plotted to sort of overthrow it, and they got into their minds that these kind of schemes or that happen behind doors, so people shouldn't be allowed doors because that's where secrets are kept and you don't need to hide anything with a door. That whole sort of privacy issue of like, well, why are you worried about your privacy if you've got nothing to hide?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not the best point to...
Yeah, the doors have a connotation of like, if you're closing a door, sometimes you're doing it with a significance. Sometimes you want privacy, or you want to get a little bit sexy.
But
or
always remember to put a cowboy hat on the door handle first.
Is that what you do? Okay.
Apparently so.
Apparently. Yeah, and parents will say to their kids, like, I want your door open, honey. At least in American films and stuff, they will. Happens in real life.
It's an like a sort of a coming of age kind of thing where kids, I guess, are more kind of an open door policy, and then as they're starting to grow up, they're sort of like more closing the door and sort of needing that kind of more personal kind of life. I don't know, it's interesting.
Door is just like a wall that you can create. It's kind of cool in that way, I guess.
There's a lot of dramatic sort of scenes where like someone's having an argument with someone else and then they slam the door in the person's face and that's it kind of thing. It's just...
Yeah.
There's a famous scene in The Shining where Jack Nicholson's breaking through the door with the axe. And it's one of probably the most famous scenes in horror in film history, probably, is him breaking through that door and then sort of like looking in on her kind of thing, and that sort of showing of like the safety's not there kind of thing. He's coming, he's getting through the door.
Not the door.
Yeah.
Oh no, nothing's safe.
Yeah. I don't think we've talked quite a few stuff on this. It's very surprising.
I told you it was a good topic.
Yeah.
So we haven't really come to a conclusion.
I really like windows are such a sort of nice thing to have. Doors are sort of one of those things where like I don't think about it that much, but I'm kind of glad they're here.
Do you think windows used to be more of a luxury item? I mean, it feels like they've been around for a very long time, but like they're so much more difficult to make than most other things about a house. Like I would have some idea of how to build a house, just by putting rocks together. I say that. If I tried, I'm sure I might have a different perspective on it.
Yeah, but you'd feel you'd fairly figure out something.
Yeah, and like I could make a door with a bit of wood or something. But windows, like the whole process of making glass is just insane to me. Like the fact that it's been happening for so long, like it seems like it's been thousands of years people have known how to do it, and it seems like it should have only come in more recently because it's so sort of counterintuitive the way that it's done.
Yeah,
it doesn't really make sense. Anyway, I don't know why I'm rambling about, but it seems like something where windows could once have been a luxury item where only rich people had them and poor people lived in these sort of non-windowed houses. But I don't know if that was ever the case.
I don't know if like a window requires glass. I feel
I guess you could just have a window that's open.
I have heard, like in Asia, they didn't invent glass as quickly as in the West did. I think QI sort of did a little section on that. I mean, one of the things is that they didn't get like reading glasses, so people who were older could keep on working and that kind of stuff. But another part of it was like their windows were kind of more sort of shuttery, where they could sort of open and close it, or that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So they found a way around it, and they still sort of required it in a certain sense. So I know it's weird because the evolution of a house, having the doors, I guess, is a practical necessity, but we also, to a certain extent, felt that we needed to have a windows as well. That there was something natural about it, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. It's one of the things you take for granted. But if you didn't know what a house was and you were just designing one from scratch, you wouldn't necessarily think, you should just have a bit of this wall that's made of glass and you can look out through it. Glad someone had that idea though. Thank you, Mr. Windows or Mrs. Windows.
Mrs. Windows.
Or Miss Windows.
Miss Windows.
Very woke us. We're taking that possibility into account.
Oh yeah.
Where do we put them?
Doors and windows. I mean, they're very important to us. I feel that they're more important than boffies.
Windows, so you're talking about our doors.
I'd say both are probably more important to us than boffies are. I'd even say they're probably more so than Mario.
Yeah, I can see that argument, definitely.
Are they more important than red pandas? Or better, I guess, than red pandas?
Maybe. We need to decide which is better first, and then we can decide this.
Okay, yeah, which is better, doors or windows?
Very tricky one.
Very tricky.
As I said, doors, I think, create more drama in our everyday lives. You have more just general annoyance with them, like you might shut a door on your hand and hurt it, or you might just bump into a door, you might have to hold a door open for someone, you might get stuck in a revolving door, an automatic door might not open,
You
door
might get
hinge
locked
might
out of your
creak.
door.
Yeah, you could.
That's annoying.
True.
Yeah, I think, and I don't know totally why, this is probably one of the first times it's happened in Everything vs. Everything, but just on a just total feeling, I feel windows are slightly better than doors.
I sort of feel the same.
And I can't explain it. I mean, we've brought some points about sort of doors not being as good, but there's also the fact that it's very useful to have.
Yeah, and I guess I feel like it's slightly the hands versus feet thing. Maybe our judgment is being clouded and we're not appreciating the hard work that doors put in day out. And we're just going with the glamorous sort of windows because they're more aesthetically like. They're letting light into here right now. If that window wasn't there, we'd just be sitting in darkness. And the door is just in there in the corner. We're not really thinking about it. It's not really having an impact on our experience right now. Whereas that window, I'm looking out the window right now and seeing the rain. Oh dear, I don't want home in that. I just think they're more sort of cheerful. Doors are more neutral and, like I said, sort of business-like. They do their job. They don't complain about it, but windows are more sort of, because they're more frivolous, they're more fun.
Yeah.
Somehow.
They give us something that, I don't know, we can appreciate more.
I've had more fun with windows in my life than with doors. Like looking out windows is fun. Standing next to a door looking at it is not.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the crux of it all, the deciding factor and all. Yeah.
Windows are better.
Windows are just a bit better than doors. Again, like red pandas, what are they in comparison?
Finding that very difficult.
I feel they're just a little bit better than red pandas.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Are we going to put them next to each other?
It feels like doors are a little bit better than red pandas as well. Red pandas are adorable, I guess. But doors are quite, like, I'll use them quite a lot in my life. They give me security.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the moment they come together, windows and doors, and they're both just above red pandas.
Okay, that works. Windows enters at number 17, followed by doors at number 18. Whoa, some good new high entries there.
Really opened up some possibilities. Don't know if that's a pun.
Go on.
No, go on. I forgot, we should have said also the eyes of the windows of the soul or something. Isn't that a phrase?
Yeah, I think it's more about eyes than it is about windows though.
I guess so. But I guess it sort of shows the importance
Does
of
that
both.
mean that windows are the eyes
Of a
house?
I think it does.
I've always thought that. Whenever you see a house, you do sort of think the windows are the eyes. Sometimes the door is the mouth, not always.
Not always, but sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were weird shaped mouth, but it's like they're doing a sort of I can't express that through audio, but like they're elongating their mouth in sort of O shape or something. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think we talked enough about windows and doors. Moving on to the thing about that. In the thing about that today, we're talking about tourist attractions.
So get your cameras out and get your tour guides ready.
Oh yeah. This is your audio guide. So look at the numbers on the exhibits you're looking at.
And don't forget to stop off at the gift shop at the end.
Oh yes, of course. 38. This table was blah, blah, blah. Let's get on into things. My tourist attraction is, and I was trying to think of something that wasn't Scottish, but I failed. My tourist attraction is Scotland's #1 theme park, M&D's.
Hurrah!
It sells itself as Scotland's #1 theme park. I haven't been there for a while, but I've been there a few times back in the day. It's somewhere near-ish Glasgow, I think. I'm not exactly sure where. It's not that near Edinburgh though. Somewhere in Scotland, and it claims to be a theme park. I don't know if I'd define it as a theme park. It's more like a big fun fair that's always there.
Yeah, fun park.
I think, yes. It's got rides, roller coasters, and other such delights. I wish I could remember more about it. I can remember specific rides that are there, and it might have changed since I've been there. But it feels more like a fairground because it's not like a theme park like Halton Towers or Disneyland where it's laid out in a very particular way, and it's got like nice sort of wooded areas or whatever you can wander in, and nice scenery and stuff. It's all just sort of crammed together, a bunch of metal rides, and it's very noisy, and it always seems to be raining when I'm there.
Me too.
Maybe it's just raining in my soul when I'm there. But yeah, I enjoy it for a little while, and then I start getting sick. I start feeling sick, I start getting a headache, and I sort of think, well, I can't just go home because, that would be a waste of coming here, so I have to still keep going on rides until I feel even more sick and having more of a headache. That's my general experience with it. There are rides there that hurt to ride. Like the magic carpet one, which sort of swings around. It's almost like a pirate ship, but it doesn't, it's hard to explain, but this thing that you're on stays flat. You're not like tilting at all, you're just flat, but it's sort of swirling up and down in a loop.
You get the feeling of being spun while still being like in the same position.
Yeah,
almost.
it's weird. But basically you get in, and I find you have to sort of clench your fists against the bar. You have to keep doing these sort of subtle adjustments of where you're applying pressure to in order to not get hurt. That's part of the sort of fun of it. It's a little game where you're trying to not get bruises all over your body. I like just push down on this bar really hard so that when it crashes down, you don't like get jolted and hurt your back or whatever. So yeah, there's all sorts of fun to be had there. There's roller coasters. I haven't been on any of the big ones because they scare me. I think there was an accident on one fairly recently. I don't think it hurt anyone too badly, but yeah, there are quite big roller coasters there which I didn't go on because back then I was scared of roller coasters, and I probably still would be scared of those roller coasters because the rides that I have been on,
they're a little rickety.
Yeah,
they're a little rickety.
Part of we have on the list the feeling at the start of a roller coaster, and I think an M&D's roller coaster is a different experience because you're not just feeling like, oh no, this is going to be scary. You're feeling like I might actually die here. There's an element of that, and to be fair, I don't know that anyone ever has, but yeah, they feel a little more unsafe than the roller coasters at big theme parks do. So there's that, and they tend to make me more nauseous. And because there's not really anything else to do there, as I said, I tend to just ride stuff until I feel sick, and then sit around a bit and go, I feel slightly less sick now, I can probably ride something, and then ride something and be like, yeah, I feel sick again. Yeah, but I don't want to slag it off entirely, because it's, we don't have much else going on in the theme park world up in Scotland.
Yeah. I'm allowed to swear in this one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit shit.
I mean,
I've been there, and each time I've been there, I've had fun at M&D's, but it's a little bit shit when you go there. Everything looks a little...
Yeah, it's...
When you go into other places, say like Alton Towers, or I, luckily enough, have been to Disneyland before and that kind of thing, so it's like not quite up there at all.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it does feel like one of those sort of travelling theme park sort of places, but it's just set up there and it's not going to move. And they seem to be doing okay with itself, but it doesn't feel like there's any more they've done to it kind of thing. They've sort of...
No, and maybe it's different now. I haven't been there for a while.
Maybe.
I'd be interested to go back and see.
Yeah.
And also now that I ride scarier rides generally, I'd be interested to see if I'm actually capable of making myself go on one of the big roller coasters that look like they're going to fall down. Yeah,
M&D's, it's funny because it is like, I guess, if you needed to in Scotland go to a theme park or that, or fun park, it's there to do that job for you.
I wouldn't recommend coming to Scotland just for that.
No. As tourist attractions goes for us, I don't think that's the one to point people towards to begin with. So.
I don't know why I felt the need to bring that one, but it has sort of etched itself in my memory as a place that I've been.
Yeah, I think if people mention it to me, it would sort of pop into my mind as well, being there.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
I'm trying to think of more stuff to say about it.
I can't really think of too many specific rides. I mean, the one that I can remember is the big roller coaster ride at the sort of the end of the park, in a sense. That was alright. That's quite a good one as it goes.
The log flume, me and James went on the first time we went there, and that was one of the ones that felt like we were going to fall off it, or was just going to fall apart or something. It was just so juddery. Like, usually at a theme park, you want to feel some sense of sort of stability beneath you as you're being cranked up, a massive slope. But in this case, it was just like, it actually is wobbling quite a lot back and forth.
If there was like a location in Scotland to set like a Final Destination film.
Oh god.
M&D's would be a top contender, I think, for like things to go wrong and a big tragedy to happen.
I guess.
It's not. It's not.
Yes.
Other
For
more
legal reasons, we should say, I don't think anyone's died there.
I feel like I've heard of a news story a couple of years ago, but
there was a story about one of the rides, I think, coming off its tracks, but I don't think anyone died.
That's good. But I
may
feel
be wrong.
I mean, there's other stories of such things happening in other places, so it's not like...
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels like it's sort of quite like the basic package of you were to order a kind of fun park.
Yeah. I don't think they have a ghost train there, which upsets me, because ghost trains, even when they're terrible, they're quite funny.
Yeah, ghost trains are pretty strong for that.
Anyway, I don't really have more to say about it. I don't think we should put it too high up.
Alright.
Do you have any opinions or...
Well, there's the feeling at the starter roller coaster ride, which is pretty positive.
It is, yeah. I think it's more positive than M&D's.
Yeah.
Probably. When we talked about that, I was thinking more of big theme parks. To be fair, at M&D's you do get some of the rides. Mm-hmm. In some ways it's more intense than some of the bigger theme parks I've been to because, as I said, you have the feeling, you might die, which adds a certain extra adrenaline to it.
Yeah.
It does the job of rides. It makes your body feel like, whoa, this shouldn't be happening to me, which I guess is sort of some of the point of a theme park. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would put it lower than the feeling at the start of a roller coaster, probably, because that's, in general, I think that covers a lot of stuff that is better than M&D's.
Yeah, it's sort of getting that little sliver of just joy that comes from that kind of thing.
I might put it around the Hanging Gardens of Babylon or somewhere, because, I mean, that doesn't exist. But
alright, where's that about again?
That's down at number 90.
90.
Maybe that's too low, I don't know.
Maybe. I think it's pretty fun though. I was thinking around trashy TV a little bit.
Could be, actually.
I mean, it does bring quite a bit of fun. It's got a sort of...
Yeah,
it's the same kind of fun as trashy TV.
I do enjoy it. If I was going there tomorrow, I'd be excited. I'd be like, ooh, M&D's.
Yeah.
So it's not like I hate it or anything.
No.
Just feel like a lot of my time there has been spent feeling like I'm going to throw up.
That's something that does strict to mind a little bit sometimes. I feel like you'd have to sort of pace yourself. But then if you were going with a good group of friends and everyone was in the mood for all and just hang out in between that kind of stuff, then yeah, it'd be a fun day, especially if the sun was shining pleasantly, yeah.
Okay.
Just above trashy TV, maybe?
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me. M&D's enters the list at number 78. Scotland's number one theme park is not number one on our list of things. It's not Scotland's number one thing.
Oh.
You're no Nessie, M&D's. Maybe someday. So do you have a tourist attraction you'd like to share with us, Euan?
I do, and you might be happy, Alex, that I'm bringing a non-Scottish one.
Oh, cool.
To, I guess, buck the trend. I guess to sort of give the rest of the world a bit of a notice.
Yeah, we should do that occasionally.
I mean, Scotland gets all the attention really in global affairs,
it does.
So we should accommodate the rest of the world a little bit. I'm bringing something, I don't know if you've heard of it before, but it's the Vasa. Which is...
I think I have.
It's a Swedish warship that sunk and then was like brought back and become a sort of a museum-esque exhibit sort of place to go. It's in Stockholm in Sweden. It's very fascinating because I've been to see it. First off, Stockholm's an amazing place to visit, so I definitely recommend it if you haven't thought of going to Stockholm. But one of the places in Stockholm to go to is the Vasa Museum, which is sort of this kind of big building that's actually built up around this sunken ship that was sort of brought back. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. When I went to see, I hadn't heard of it myself beforehand, and its story is kind of cool, interesting. At the time that it was made, it was on the orders of the Swedish king, and I feel it was either they were at war with Norway or Finland or Russia, one of them, but Sweden was trying to show off, and so they basically ordered the Vasa to be built, which at the time was the most powerfully armed warship of its sort of type that he built in history. The king, I think, took a personal sort of like attention to it and was like, we need this here, we need that here, and everything. We want to sort of show off to like all the kind of the diplomats in our sort of court that look at the power of Sweden, look at its sort of naval power. So on the day of the sort of the Vasa being ready to go for its maiden voyage, it's going to set off. There was a sort of big sort of crowds and affair, and the Vasa was all decked out and beautiful and sort of ready to go, and everyone was like, "Ooh, that's a big ship." And the king, I think, like, I don't know if he did the whole champagne bottle smash, but he must have done something to sort of cut a ribbon or give a cheer or something like that, and they sort of launched it off. And it sort of started going, it was glorious, amazing, and the winds were sort of picking up and that. And then 20 minutes into its journey, it hit 2 strong winds and then it just started to sunk. Because the design of the ship apparently was really badly done. So it just started taking up water. Maybe it was like, I think it was too top heavy or something like that, but it was not well designed. And it just sank to the bottom. I don't think anyone died. I think if I remember what they told me at the museum, that no one actually died from it. All the sailors got off and just swam back to shore because they weren't that far out. Literally, they were still in the harbour. It was like... Blub, blub,
It would be
blub,
fun
blub.
to watch if you're one of the crowd, like, watching it depart.
I think a lot of people did find it a little bit hilarious in like a kind of schadenfreude kind of way. The king didn't. He was pretty cross about it all, to be honest. And I think the other person that was involved in designing it might have gone executed or something like that, or banished to like the farthest end of the earth. But it was just a hilarious kind of thing of like someone's hubris, someone's pride, and like thinking, oh, I'm going to do this to sort of show off to the world. And then such an obvious display of just like that folly and just like just sunk down to the bottom of the thing. So
Not a great way to spin that, really.
No, not really. I'm sure that his PR team were really sort of having to knock their heads together to sort of figure all out how to do this, but I don't know, maybe it was intentional, or Hillary Clinton was behind it all or something. Anyway, so it was still fascinating, but that's not the end of the story, of course, because I think about towards the beginning of the 20th century that I think scientists rediscovered the Vasa. Like they were sort of skimming around the bottom of the ocean and they found, oh, look at this ship, and it's quite well intact. I mean, say a little bit of the design of it being able to float and sail, but its actual structure was pretty well off. And they were like thinking, oh, it's actually like almost all there. And I think it was around the same time as like sort of the Titanic stuff was maybe happening, maybe but after that, I'm not sure. I can't remember the full details. Google the Vasa warship, listeners, because it is a very fascinating story, and I'm probably getting a lot of facts wrong about it. But the general gist of it is that they started to fill up the ship with like balloons on the inside and like floated it basically back up to the surface.
Oh, wow.
And then they sort of brought it into harbour, and it was kind of bits and pieces were not great, but they sort of were able to sort of do a really impressive restructure of it all, and it's there today. You can go and see it. There's some of it that's like quite worn, but like it's got its original kind of battlements and designs, and like the front bit of it, you know, that's always in like the pirate movies is like sort of a mermaid or something sort of like holding out something to sort of show the very thing. It's still there, and lots of other bits of it are still there, so it's quite it's a pretty impressive tourist attraction, as tourist attractions go, I think. And yeah, so that's sort of the story, and there's like a very fascinating part of it is the restructure of it all. One of the things that the tour guide did say was that if it was discovered today, they probably wouldn't bring it up because it was so much money was spent and actually how to do it. But it was
a lot of balloons.
a lot of balloons. Mark wouldn't have been happy about it all.
No,
but
be in that job.
But I think it was around that time in which like people said, screw the money, we're going to do it because it's impressive kind of thing.
I miss days when people did that. I know it might be a bit extravagant, and maybe there are other uses that governments or rulers should be putting their money to, but there's something about the old days when people would just be like, we're going to build this because we want to and it'll be impressive. Nowadays you just be like, you'd go through so many committees and it'd be like, oh, the public aren't behind this at all, it's gone over budget again.
You'd rather you put it into education or health or something like that. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's for the best, but at the same time it's like,
I know,
we kind of want to be inspired as well.
If we can fix our economy to the point where we have a bit of spare, we should do some more silly stuff like that.
I mean,
and probably design it a bit better than the Vasa.
Yeah, a little bit better. That's the thing is that, I mean, the impressive thing, I guess, is bring the Vasa back from the surface,
Yeah.
from the bottom of the ocean. Or the
Oh
sea.
yeah, of course.
But I mean, I guess the Vasa's story, like historical story, is also quite fascinating and interesting part of history. But yeah, so that was it, and I really enjoyed sort of visiting it, and for something that I hadn't heard about at all, to actually get this very cool and interesting story was a really kind of pleasant sort of experience for me.
It's weird that it's not. I mean, maybe it is more famous, and I'm just not very good at knowing things.
I don't think it is in popular culture. I feel like maybe if you were in a Scandinavian country, you might have more of an idea of it. But I think outside of sort of the Scandinavian sphere, I don't know if people would know about it as much.
It's like their Titanic, kind of.
It is. It's very much in the sort of same vein of things. So not as tragic on loss of life, thankfully.
It's nice that you say that no one died or not many people died.
I don't think so. Again, because it literally out the gate, bloop, just like sunk, and so everyone was just like, "Oh, better get back to shore." Yeah, I guess if it was going to fail at the start. I don't know if that's a good message, but
if you're gonna fail before you even get going properly, so you can swim back to shore.
yeah, and start again.
Yeah.
I guess that's somewhat of a positive message. Now, where to put it?
Yeah, I mean, if we're taking into account its viability as a ship, it's not great. But it's more as the tourist attraction.
It's the tourist
you're talking
attraction.
about,
Yeah, the experience of it all. I think it's pretty cool. There's something of similar thing as Eurovision Song Contest. That sort of is quite... well, I was in Stockholm. There's also an ABBA museum. So that's another thing. If you're after you've done the Vasa, you can go to there and they'll show you a bit of Eurovision Song Contest's lore and history. So maybe not as big as the Eurovision Song Contest. I guess it's not as important globally speaking. It's
not as many people know about it probably. It doesn't entertain millions every year. Well, maybe it does. I don't know how many people go there.
I think it's one of the top exhibits in Sweden for people coming through. But I don't know if it's like
M&Ds.
millions and millions. But yes, it's their M&Ds basically.
It's not. Sorry, Sweden.
I mean, I don't know if there's a Scottish equivalent to the Vasa. There is a sunken ship down in England that was brought back. I didn't know that. I want to go visit there sometimes because I've been to a few different sunken ship things and come back.
There are definitely ships that you can go on, like Discovery, but I don't know if there were any ones that had sunk and then got retrieved.
Not in Scotland, but in Ireland, there is the Titanic exhibit museum. That's quite a fun thing to go see. If you're in Belfast, I would definitely recommend that. Scotland, I guess Edinburgh's got Edinburgh Castle and that kind of stuff, but I think that's a bit more successful than the Vasa in terms of how it pulled off in its way in history.
Yeah, it's not like when they built it and then, like, as everyone was watching after the king had opened it, it was just like crumbled into dust.
It's like, well, that's square one. No, I think they got it right.
The champagne that he smashed against it that caused it to sink. Maybe he hit the most important bit.
Yeah, he hit like the keystone of it.
Ship.
Yeah,
Ships definitely have that.
the keystones. Don't know why they do, but they do. So. Let's see. Is it as good as the film The Room? It's got that kind of charm of like something that is a failure, but is entertaining in its failure.
That's true.
I guess.
Yeah, and now it's available for all to enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's not as sleazy.
Sort of similar to The Room in a way.
I guess it's not that sleazy as The Room can be. When you go to the Vasa, I don't think there's anything sort of like there's sections of it where it's just like really awkward scenes with really bad R&B music to it.
I mean, it was built for war.
That's my other point. It was built for war.
It's not always a great thing.
True. It's got that aspect of where it was meant to basically take lives and fight in wars. So maybe. What do you think?
It's hard for me to say because you've experienced both of them. I've only experienced The Room.
I feel like if The Room had like a tourist location to it, like there's the Museum of the Room, then that would be...
The actual room. You get to go to the actual room.
Go
Whatever the room is. Because it's never... Sorry.
It's never specified.
Never specified which room they're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, most of it probably takes place in his living room, but there's also the bedroom upstairs and there's other locations.
There are other locations.
A few, not many. Anyway.
But like if there was like a sort of exhibit of the film The Room and it had all the history, maybe that would give the clincher for The Room. But until then, the Vasa is kind of... I don't know, it's the actual place you go to. It's pretty impressive, and they do a lot of like not just talking about the Vasa itself, but talking about the time that it came from, and also sort of what the restorations stuff was like. It's very, very impressive. I think. Very impressive.
Cool.
So I feel like it's just pit The Room and no more.
Okay. Vasa enters at number 58. Hopefully it doesn't sink to the bottom. So that's all our things for today. And it just leaves nudges and grudges to go. In Nudges and Grudges, we each have the opportunity to nudge something or grudge it, which means moving it up or down the list up to 3 places. Do you have anything that you feel strongly about, Euan?
Yes. Now, Columbo.
Oh no.
And I'm
Mark's
sorry,
not gonna
Mark.
be happy
He's
about
not going to
this.
be happy about that. I know.
Especially
But
this last bit of this episode.
Columbo is in number 10 place of their. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Columbo at all. And I tried to watch an episode. I couldn't actually find an episode online to watch, legally speaking. And maybe I didn't try that hard enough, or I haven't seen it on TV yet. So it's probably there. But I did watch some scenes from it and that. But I did ask my parents if they'd seen Columbo. And they both heard of it, but they didn't watch it and they weren't interested in it. So in that point, I'm like, aha. See, not just our generation. So I just feel it's too high.
Okay, I can see the argument for that. And again, not having anyone here as a representative of it, it feels weird to do it, but you're within your rights to do so, and I won't argue against it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good. I just feel like it's really, really high on the list for something that and it just feels like I'm talking it down. It's like, no, there's loads of stuff definitely that should be under it. But I just feel like, I mean, am I knocking it down 3? Does it mean that it's below Jurassic Park now?
Yes.
I feel that's more of an appropriate place.
Okay.
Or maybe even a little bit lower, but let's just work on it just now.
So
I
you're knocking it down 3.
I'm knocking Columbo down 3. I'm sorry. It's just, I feel like the majority of our listeners might agree with me. Maybe I'm wrong. In which
I don't want
case,
to just pander to the masses, but anyway. Yeah, sorry about that, Mark.
Sorry, Mark.
Also sorry about this. I'm going to grudge mayonnaise down 3 more places.
I knew it. Are you happy where it is now, or are you thinking still needs to go a bit further?
I think it should be further down the list. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Will you be like Mark last week, where you like finally like, okay, I won't be as harsh as I could be?
We'll see. Okay, mayonnaise goes down below Old Book Smell, above Cocoa Pops. It should not be above Cocoa Pops. That's a problem for another day.
Yes.
Yeah, that's our list. We now have 121 things on the list. The best thing in the world is dogs. The worst thing in the world is homeopathic medicine. Those maybe need a shake-up soon. But for now, what else is there to say? What have we talked about this episode that we can do a callback to in some sort of obscure way?
Keep an eye on your ships and your Scottish theme park rides.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Lock your doors. Everything versus everything's in town.
Oh yeah. Jump out the window. No, don't jump out the window.
Jump out the window.
No, that's a bad thing to do. Don't just sit around waiting for the parcel of fun that will be in store for you next week on episode 17. Go out and live your life and enjoy. Oh god, this is the most laboured one ever. Let's just say goodbye, shall we?
Bye.
Bye. See you next time. See you next time. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Everything vs. Everything. Today's panellists were Euan Gilmore and me, Alex Perry. Visit our website at everythingveverything.wordpress.com, subscribe to our RSS feed, review us on iTunes and all that good stuff. You can also check out my other silly podcast, Rainy Day Adventure Club, at rainydayadventureclub.wordpress.com. Thanks for listening, see you next week.